You don't mean that. I don't believe you.
All right. Welcome in, everybody. We got to Wednesday's edition of Daily Bread coming at you live right at 3 o'clock on the East Coast. So, perfect time to wrap up, help you get through that last half hour of work. On the West Coast, we're coming at you right at your lunch hour for once. So, grab your food, grab whatever you got to do. It's the best time to know what you need to know before locking in your plays every day. We got the World Cup qualifiers and we got the NBA, just like yesterday's show, coming at you live on Twitter at Daily Bread Media. Make sure to give us a like, a retweet, and a subscribe there. And then we're also live on YouTube, the number one spot to be dropping your best bets, whatever you want to say. It's always open in the chat. We got the number one on the airwaves. And then lastly, the show is powered and sponsored by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Be sure to be checking them out before the Final Four starts because we got tennis action going on throughout the week, NHL, and everything else under the sun that you need. The Diamond Club is your one spot shop to get it all. But Sosa, some weird endings in the last night in the NBA.
Jesus Christ, to say the least, man. Wow. Wow. Is all we can really say. I mean, it was still a decent day. It was a good day. It's just, variance. You can't predict the future. But Jesus Christ, bro, the Utah Jazz. I want to keep saying that, hey, maybe they're just, have PTSD, worried about getting healthy at the right time. But my lord, it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Um, I feel bad because they're victims of premature success. Rudy Gobert got a lot of money that he probably wasn't warranted. But again, this is what happens when you draft someone and you develop him into a multi-time defensive player of the year. Whether or not you believe he was deserving of it does not make him less effective on the market or his money that he's owed any less important. They developed him into who he was. They've had to overpay to keep him because they're not a large market team. And this is what happens in the NBA when you have to pay your homegrown superstars and they don't pan out or match the money to production. And that's the problem with Rudy Gobert. He does nothing offensively. He's a liability when teams go small and is forced to switch action. Um, and I say all that to say that this Utah team could just be chilling and waiting for the playoffs. They could be one of those teams that know the task is at hand and maybe they have an opportunity here to get it all together right before the playoffs start. But if we're going off what we've seen recently, it's not promising. It's not promising at
No,
all.
they do not like these long road trips. So thankfully, in the NBA playoffs, they're not nearly as long. You only get the two games there. But that's the biggest thing that we've seen with them, especially as of recent. They look back to normal at home. But yeah, you can't cough up another 20-point lead. And then the Clippers, that's just what they've done this season. I believe that's their fifth 20 plus comeback of the year. And then Paul George definitely played a big factor in that in the fourth quarter. So he never looked like he missed a step or missed a single game in what he showed out last night.
I mean, he's a legit superstar. The only thing that's really slowed down Paul George in his career is injuries. Injuries and LeBron James. The facts are the facts. Um, Frank Vogel ran into him and lost to him every single year when PG was the number one guy in Indiana. And it's but there's no denying that he's an amazingly talented basketball player that definitely deserves his just level of respect. Absolutely balled out last night. Um, it's just going to be very very interesting to see what happens with maybe Kawhi returning and possibly them wanting to make a run. Will he come back early? Who knows? I personally don't believe he will because this is a guy who was preaching load management when he was 24. So I don't know. I don't quite know if he wants to come pop up early for a playoff run just because the team seems to be poised to be good. That's all. Palmdale P. Shout out to my guy. Did you know that Paul George's parents' names are Paul and Paulette?
No,
I learned that last night. That was kind of crazy, right?
that's a
Yeah.
weird one.
random thing. Like, I didn't know that. Um, I'm trying to think about what else we really
Luca
saw.
went off. He didn't care that no one showed up for the Lakers. He just did their thing, and now the Lakers are out of the play-in technically. The Pels can make it even better today because I saw Chad saying the Pels play today.
Absolutely. Also, unless the Brooklyn Nets get some level of like a defensive stopper in the building very soon, I might be out on them, man. I know everything's based on matchup for the playoffs, but they really can't stop anyone. I mean, they have zero resistance at the rim. They have no rim protection, and they're basically just relying on Kyrie and KD to go for 40, one or the other every single night. It's a tough prospect right now for these Brooklyn Nets. I know it's, and we want to believe in Kyrie and KD, but boy, oh boy, do they look suspect. They sure do. Defensively, can't guard anyone.
No, and they need to get up to that 5 seed as bad as possible, or hope that the Celtics, Sixers, and Bucks aren't 1, 2, 3. Because I think if they draw any other team, they'd be fine. If they draw one of those three, I think that's when the few New Jersey Nets fans that are still out there start to worry.
Glad you brought them up. But yeah,
Let's get into the plays. We got all of our people tapped in with us. We got some World Cup qualifiers, and we got a loaded NBA slate. So we're just going to talk on 2 soccer matches real quick. All the games are at
real,
9:05 tonight.
real quick, I just want to say this. In case anybody was wondering, Footy Rex he's alive and well. He's just been hibernating because college basketball season. This is the first college basketball season I had the opportunity to work with Rex. I didn't know he was college basketball Jesus like other people. I didn't know that. So now we have to reintegrate soccer because the season's about to end, and I'm just grateful to have him on my team. That's all.
Yeah, you got to don't try to overdo yourself. I can't cap college basketball and soccer at the same time. Those are the 2 sports with the most fucking people you have to track other than college football. But yes, we got the soccer seasons back in action. We got the domestic leagues that begin back up on Friday. And it looks like the USA is going to the World Cup tonight. And there's 2 games I want to key on. One is the U.S. Costa Rica. They have 8 guys on yellow card issues where if they pick up another yellow, they get disqualified from their qualification match since Costa Rica currently sits in that last spot where I think they would have to play the Europe winner to find out that final spot. It's all that weird stuff where Peru's playing Australia or someone, but they're in that final spot where they have to play for the final 4. And Costa Rica, I think, is going to throw out a B lineup out there. So we're going to go with the USA money line at plus 114. As simple as that. Get the job done against a B squad.
Let's
So then
get
we're
it.
going to be rocking with the Canada money line. That's sitting at plus 105. We're taking that as well. Panama's done and dusted from World Cup qualification. And the biggest reason why we're playing Canada here is if they get a dub, they move up into pot 2. For your deep soccer fans on Friday, they pull out the pot qualifications for the draw. And Canada's trying to get out of 3 to give themselves an easier spot by getting into the second pot. And all they need is a straight up dub. So plus 105.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, that was quick, efficient, because I know everyone's here for the NBA plays. So we got it done quickly there. You can rock with the Canada money line and the USA money line. And now let's get into the NBA.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna go straight to the Orlando Magic versus the Washington Wizards. Now I know
Everyone's favorite game of the night.
everyone's favorite game. I know people are usually used to hearing me say, not to bet on bad teams, but today we're going to go with Mo Bamba to record a double-double at plus 190. Wendell Carter's not playing. Porzingis is the only big that you have to worry about. I think Mo Bamba can get us 10 boards, 10 points. Plus 190, I love the value. It's just my favorite play. I immediately bet it as soon as I saw that Wendell Carter probably is not going to be playing. He's obviously not listed on anything. So
Yeah, he's out.
yeah, so the first play is Mo Bamba double plus 190. I have a couple of plays that I've been leaning towards.
So back to stay in that Washington game real quick. If they lose, and I believe if someone else wins, I'm blanking on the top of my head, they're officially out of playoff contention as well. And on the back-to-back, I wouldn't be surprised if Porzingis ends up being a late scratch. Nothing official. Didn't see anything of that. I wouldn't be too shocked.
Interesting. Interesting insider news here from.
Yeah, it's all in my head. No Twitter person said that. That's just me. Just how we've watched Porzingis this season, even with the Wizards. He usually hasn't gone in back-to-backs. Where are we going next?
Next, we're going to go to the Dallas Mavericks Cleveland Cavaliers matchup. Dallas on a back-to-back. The play that I'm targeting here tonight is Kevin Love over 2.5 threes. I like him to hit the number based on the matchup. Dallas might heavy legs, and I don't look for their bench to be as productive on the road. I think Kevin Love, whether he's in the starting lineup, which I believe might be starting tonight, even if he is. I think that the usage will be there, the minutes will be there. Kevin Love over 2.5 3-pointers made at plus 105. That's my second play that I love today.
Not much on the K-Love. It's almost better when he comes off the bench just because he gets that first 5 or 6 minutes against the bench squad. But regardless, he's been getting 20-plus minutes. The attempts are there.
Absolutely.
K-Love stinks. Then 1 and 2, your man, Jalen Green.
I know everybody's expecting me to touch the Jalen Green ladder tonight. I think I might sit it out. I want to bet it. But they've completely juiced his lines now. They've got 2.5 now at minus 140. If you're going to bet it, you're going to bet him to hit 4 threes, and that would be a plus 176. Obviously, we talked about him putting up like 10 a game over the last few. He's actually created a level of separation now between him and Bones. So I am not betting Jalen Green tonight, and I'm not recommending that you bet Jalen Green. This is a night off for me with betting him. He's cashed me out back-to-back nights. It's a great angle to continue to use. Obviously, the only angle I was using was the fact that he could possibly end up with the most 3-pointers made. He's created some distance now. Whether he continues to be on that upward trend that he's been on, I fully expect it because he's looked extremely comfortable now as an NBA player. Jalen Green's transition to the NBA was extremely rough first 60 games. You can clearly see that he's adjusted to game speed, and he's just become more consistent as an offensive player. Would not be opposed to it. Just tonight, I'm taking the night off with him. I can't get the line on a couple of plays that I really want to.
What about this one? Our man Ozzy. The return to Portland.
I'm rocking with it. Points, assists, the whole nine. The only problem is that the line being 14.5, we're entering possible blowout territory. And especially with BI back and them not missing a beat, I would be fearful that he wouldn't be able to get his numbers in the event that it's a blowout. This team is playing very good across the board. It's not just CJ. It's not just BI. Obviously, when those two are together, they've shown to be a pretty much an elite force since they've been together. But it's just I can see this game entering blowout territory for certain. I mean, for certain.
All right, let's hit up the Knicks Charlotte game. Jared's liking the LaMelo Ball over 21.5. What are you liking here?
I'm liking not betting on Terry Rozier tonight because he fucked it off last night. No, I couldn't talk you off the LaMelo Ball play. His usage and his numbers have been more consistent over the last couple of weeks. Still can't guard a shadow, but I wouldn't be able to talk you off that. Tonight, I'm playing against the Knicks though. I'm inclined to take a ticket on RJ Barrett's points. RJ Barrett's points. And I'm going to go with Mitchell Robinson's rebounds. And I'm going to play Mitchell Robinson to get me 12 rebounds at half a unit at plus 200. Every front line has dominated Charlotte. Every front line. Every center dominates them. It doesn't matter who's put in front of them. The only thing that would stop Mitchell Robinson tonight from not getting 10 boards or 12 boards is foul trouble. That's it. If he plays 30 minutes, he'll get 12 rebounds. The front line for Charlotte is an absolute joke. You don't have to defend Mason Plumlee or any of their centers outside of 5 feet. It's a no-brainer to take the starting center's rebounds when they play another team. It doesn't matter who they play. I also do like RJ's points. It's just 25 and a half. I like it. I love it. I'd love it even more if Julius Randle wasn't playing. He's a complete crybaby bitch. And he needs to get the fuck out of New York. He's a bitch. Like, I have no respect for Julius Randle. He's not showing any level of professionalism. He's moving around like an entitled hoe. I don't fuck with that at all.
Yeah, with here, both of these teams are both on 3 consecutive unders on each side. But I'm thinking there's a player prop tonight we should be targeting. I want to know if you think the points or the assists are too juiced with Fournier out. Looks like we might see Point quickly tonight.
I mean, I would, if anything, with him, it'd be his points, maybe his threes. He's still inconsistent. I do like his game. I do think that he has a future as an NBA player. I think if he embraces the role of being a sixth man, that he could be extremely effective in the league. I'm not touching his stuff today. If I'm going to touch any player's numbers on the Knicks, it would be RJ Barrett. We all know that he has pretty much earned himself a max extension in New York because they're not going to be able to get rid of him, and he's the only player that's shown any level of development in the last 5 fucking years for the organization. So you can't let him out the door. So
yeah, and FanDuel, my book still doesn't even have quickly numbers up, but I think he's the guy you need to be targeting.
Absolutely.
What other games do you like him for tonight?
Boston versus the Heat. The only play that I'm going to roll with tonight is going to be 3-pointers from one Grant Williams. Grant Williams 3-pointers. He's going to get plenty of opportunities to let it fly tonight at plus money at plus 128 at over 1.5. I like him to get the volume, get the opportunity. Obviously, he's that stretch 5. He plays, like that hybrid 4, 3, 4, 5. He's about 6'7", 6'8", can match up with multiple people defensively. No Rob Williams. His direct usage goes up. Obviously, he doesn't bring what Rob Williams brings defensively as far as a rim protector, but as far as a floor spacer, he brings you another dimension offensively that Rob Williams can't give you. Grant Williams over 1.5 3-pointer plus 124 or plus 128. Definitely worth the ticket based on volume.
Everyone, the chat is loving the Heat. Kind of want to lay with the Celtics tonight, personally.
I'm not touching the game. I think this will be a display of WWE basketball. 2 teams that don't necessarily want to win, playing against each other. I'm not touching it. If they listen, more power to you. If you're betting it, best of luck to you. What we've gotten from the Heat and now with this Robert Williams situation, I don't know what to expect from either of these teams. I don't know how serious they are about winning. I don't know how scared they are of the Brooklyn Nets. I'm staying away. If you are betting it, best of luck. I hope you win.
Anything about the over or the under?
Hell no.
I was about to say, we almost got to most of the games on the board. The late night ones are really the only ones we didn't touch, with the Memphis at Spurs and then the Suns at the Warriors.
Memphis at the Spurs. I know it's going to sound crazy. I'm just joking. I'm not taking.
You're going to take the Spurs on the money line?
Nobody's fucking taking the Spurs, man. I mean, and this might be the night they fuck around and win, and I'm still not touching them. Memphis is a train that if you want to step in front of that train, go right ahead. I won't be doing it with you. With or without Ja, they've been great. If you can think to yourself that this team's not competent of winning a championship, you can believe that. But I mean, they got a great coach, great roster, and they're executing at an extremely high, efficient rate. If you're going to bet this game, you're going to bet the 5. You're going to lay the 5 with Memphis. If you are, Tyus Jones assist, it hit in every single game since John Morant's been out, except for, well, he hit the 6 last game, but they just had a blowout. So if we're gonna go with Tyus Jones, we're gonna roll with Tyus Jones over 6.5 assists again. at plus 118, and we're going to play them at 8 plus at plus 210.
Next question I got for you.
Both teams play at pace with pace. But hold on a second. Both teams play with pace. And the majority of games involving the Spurs go over. They don't particularly play defense the way they did for years. So Tyus Jones, 6+ assists or over 6.5 assists at plus 118, and Tyus Jones over 8+ assists at plus 210.
Wow. Harris throwing out the heat at you today.
I'm not scared. I don't know, man. I'm not doing it. Memphis, bro, you'll look up at the TV and the game in Memphis will be tied, and then they'll be up by fucking 30. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. And I fuck with Popovich and all that, but not me. No, sir.
Why aren't we playing the Raptors minus 2.5 with the T-Wolves coming in?
I mean, because Minnesota's pretty good. I don't know.
They both got the same record. That's where I'm just going to say no one significant is expected to be out for either of them. You got Toronto on the 3-game winning streak, looking like they can take that 5 spot if they get a dub tonight. You got the Wolves on 1 of 3. I just don't like what the Wolves have, and I think that Toronto has more than enough size to just make it a nightmare for the entire game tonight. So that's why I'm on the Raptors minus 2.5, minus 110.
I can't be mad at it. I like it. And with the in this game, I only have one play, another plus money play, and that's D'Angelo Russell over 6.5 assists. I just I like the pace that Toronto will play at to match Minnesota. Would not be surprised to see this game go well over. I wouldn't be surprised if the first half went over by a mile as well, by at least 10 points. I think both teams can get whatever they want offensively, and it'd be a high scoring game towards the end.
And the one thing so far with Vegas, I don't think it's done well this season. When the Raptors get hot and they have 3 or more wins, they're 11-4 ATS. So that's where you're giving me a short number. If they win by 1 or 2, I'll go pound sand tonight. But I'm rocking the 2.5 because if you're posting minus 135 or greater, get the fuck out of here. What else you want? Any other game you want to talk Phoenix Warriors to wrap it up?
Not touching Phoenix versus the Warriors. Also, I hope some people who actually follow me on Twitter can understand, like, it's when someone tweets something, they can really just say whatever they want. Like, I said that the Phoenix Suns aren't going to make the finals. Like, who gives a fuck what I think? I'm just a regular dude. Like, it could be anybody saying that. Like, if I don't think they'll make the finals, I'm not God. It doesn't make me right. Like relax, guys. I've been wrong plenty of times. Just, I don't think they're going to make the finals. Not to call me names. I'm a nice guy. Come on. They're not making the finals, by the way.
This is our Suns spot, though. When the Suns are avenging a home loss versus the opponent, 5-0 ATS, 5-0 straight up. Minus 4.5 on the road. It's gross. Just revenging a loss against an opponent. They're 13-1 ATS and 13-1 straight up. I can't knock it. I'll just stay with my 3 plays tonight and not add the Suns and regret it later, most likely.
Hey man, I'm rocking with you. You already know. I'm 100% rocking with anything you're on.
No, we'll stay away from the Suns. We'll keep the action earlier in the night.
So. Oh, I know that ain't Chuck. I know that ain't Chuck. Chuck, you a Suns fan today now? What are you a fucking Suns fan today?
The Clippers. That's who'll beat them in the playoffs.
CJ's points for sure. Who's making?
Yeah. Ozzy, you rock with CJ points. If your gut's telling you and you like the revenge angle going back to Portland, I will not knock you off it. So I know that's your play of the day.
I don't know who's making the finals. I just don't believe it'll be the Suns. I'm sorry.
Not sure why that. It also dropped 2.5 points, which is another reason why I don't want to get on it tonight.
If you want to invest your funds in Christopher Emmanuel Paul, go for it. Just when he doesn't win it and they don't go to the finals, just make sure you just run me my flowers. That's all. You feel me? Like, come on, that's it. That's all. Yeah, I'm not, like I said, no action for me in regards to this Suns game. Not stepping in front of this regular season juggernaut led by Chris Paul that we've seen forever. It's all about Devin Armani Booker. Why did I know that you knew his middle name? I knew that.
He's a closet Kentucky fan today as well.
He's a Kentucky fan. Next thing he's going to say he likes Mississippi high school hoops.
No, it's Mizzou. It's definitely Missouri high school.
No, Mississippi high school hoops. Devin Booker played basketball in
Minnesota. I was going to say Chuck likes Mizzou hoops. USA Canada moneyline parlay, can't knock that when those were my first 2 footy plays right above that plus money.
Yeah, I knew something was up with that Chuck guy, man.
Oh, damn. I'm betting on 2 Canadian teams tonight.
Oh, boy. It's definitely the Mizzou. I know.
Well, tomorrow we'll be coming back at you live. NBA slate only, that we won't have any soccer to talk about tomorrow, unfortunately.
We'll have some hockey, right?
Damn, I said to fade the Penguins last night and the Rangers won, so no one listened to that, but that was going to be my hockey play. I was scared. Needed to go to church today. I didn't.
Yeah. Can still make Bible study tonight, right?
I think I'd be too old to get to CCD at this point. Or they probably ask, why am I trying to go there?
You're Catholic.
Yeah, I've already.
You can still make it to my church. I'm sure they got Bible study on Wednesdays. You know what I'm saying? Repentance, very important. Very important.
From Daily Bread. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. We're out.
And you guys need Jesus.